Catholic Church, and I've been in the Boy Scouts since first grade. I don't know how long is that, 15 years, something like that? Long time. Right?
Yeah, like...
Yeah, I can remember back then. So, the rank of an Eagle Scout is the highest rank that can be achieved in Boy Scouts. In order to be considered for this honor, each Life Scout, which is the previous rank, must conduct a leadership project that will benefit the community. Today I will be discussing my product, a Native Bee Habitat and Educational Center located here at Lake Lotus Park. I chose the Native Bee Habitat and Educational Center as my project to increase awareness of the problems our native bees are facing. I also wanted to increase awareness of conservation methods that can easily be done by everybody in the community. According to a 2016 study by the United Nations, 40% of insect pollinators worldwide are facing extinction and are increasingly under threat from human activities like intensive agriculture, pesticides, climate change, and urbanization. Considering that native bees are responsible for pollinating 1/3 of our food supply, imagine going to a grocery store and only having 1/3 of the food there at a grocery store. I mean, you just can't do it. So, higher demand for food will increase the cost. Something that'll be $1 will now be $3 or $4. There are about 4,000 native bee species in North America. 315 of those species are located in Florida. Out of those 315, 29 are endemic, which means only found in Florida. So we've got a big amount in Florida alone. There are some very significant differences between honeybees and native bees. Honeybees were introduced to North America by European settlers. Honeybees are social and live in very large colonies. You go out and you see the beehives that produce the honey. And there's one queen that everybody kind of socializes around. Honeybees have a tendency to become very aggressive to protect the queen in the colony. Whereas native bees are solitary, they live alone. There might be a significant amount of them in an area, but since they do not live in colonies, they're not aggressive. They like to do their own thing. Native bees do not produce honey in quantities to be used for human consumption. They're much better pollinators of native plants. For example, one native bee can pollinate 12 pounds of cherries, where it takes 60 honeybees to do the same job. I mean, just think about that. 60 bees compared to one. We really need these guys in our environment. Native bees are active longer during the day and therefore pollinate more. Native bees range in the size from 2 millimeters to about 39 millimeters or 1.5 inches. So they vary a lot. About 70% of native bees make their nests in the ground. So for my project out there, I'm going for that 30% that likes to stay above the ground. Because, you know, at a park, if you really want to see something that's underground, you like to see something that's out there in the open and instead walls, so you know, it looks good for the community. So the adult female duties to build and provision the nest for her eggs. The provisions or food is known as bee bread, and they're collected from pollen and nectar. Pollen and nectar provides the eggs with essential vitamins and sugars. An egg is laid on the bee bread, and when it hatches, the larva consumes it. The larva grows quickly, then it changes into a pupa, and stays this way for months before finally becoming an adult. As I stated before, native bees are under threat for many reasons, but we can do something to help them. Bees need 4 things to survive: shelter, food, which are native plants and pollen, water, and mud. An interesting fact is that when a female lays her eggs, she starts in the back of her nest and lays all females first, and then she works her way up. Each individual egg is in its own chamber. Like, she'll lay an egg, then she'll wall it off to kind of, encapsulate it, and then she'll move to the next one. You can make, if anybody wants to do this, you can make a habitat out of any materials as long as it's not toxic to the bees. You know, the bees need to stay alive. You can't be making stuff to harm them in any way. If materials are used like pressure-treated wood, post, glue, stain, or paint, they will not come in contact with the bees. For my project, after consulting with a carpenter, I chose to use cedar wood to build my habitats. Cedar wood is, from what the carpenter said, is the best wood to use out in nature. It's insect repellent, like so spiders and little mites don't get in there. It's very weather resistant. I mean, other materials can be used as well. Like you could use reeds to put them in there, like I have in my little display over here. These are the little reeds that can be used, for stuff like that. So if you look out there, I chose my hexagon shape to mimic a honeycomb, as it's associated as a bee house, and children and adults can easily recognize it. One request of the park rangers was to have the ability to easily harvest the hibernating bees in the winter. Doing this will keep them safe from predators, and then they can be reintroduced back into the habitat in the spring. You noticed in the top of my habitats there's a blank space. Like in this one, there's a blank space above it, and that's called the attic, where the adults are reintroduced back in during the spring. They're put there, and then when they want to come out, they'll fly around, find their new home. So I was able to provide two different purchased inserts. One is 6 millimeters, and the other is 8 millimeters. I was able to build my own inserts as well, like the one here, which is 4, 6, and 8 millimeter drilled holes. All inserts are able to be easily opened to harvest them during the winter. Additionally installed are reeds that range in size from 2 millimeters to 8 millimeters that can be easily be accessed by the rangers at the end of the season. Just like humans, bees like the choices for their housing and provide different sizes and materials that will help them attract a diverse population. Like everybody here, nobody here lives in the same exact house. They wanna be diverse. A bee might like a bigger mansion, just say, or one might like an apartment. So it's all up to what that bee chooses. So near the bird bath in the garden out there, there's a box of mud that the bees can use to help build their nests if they choose to. In order for the bees to thrive, they need to have the morning sun. So if you look out there again, you'll notice that the habitats are faced southeast because they need the sun. Lastly, there's a variety of native plants that will attract both the bees and butterflies. So without these native plants, their food source, they would not be able, they wouldn't want to come. Why would you come if they don't have food? So in conclusion, with the human influences, pollinators are endangered and could profoundly impact our food supply. Individuals do have the ability to promote conservation with very little effort. You can go to Costco or something and buy one of these native bee habitats for $15 or something like that. It's not a lot of money. Native bees are gentle and do not sting, whereas, if you think of a bee, you think about it as something that will sting you and cause harm. Native bees, they just want to do their own thing. They want to be left alone. So they are better pollinators than honeybees as well. Whether you purchase your own habitat or build it, every effort helps. We need these guys to stay alive for our food supplies. I want to thank you for coming out today and taking the time to listen to my little ramble about the project, and I hope you learned something new. The bees need loving. As my little thing goes, when I started making my project, I made myself a little model. The bees need loving. They really do. I would like to thank Ms. Sally Powers, Seminole County Master Gardener, for her support and guidance in completing this project. I especially want to thank the City of Altamont Springs and Lake Louise for allowing me the opportunity to provide the community with my service project. Again, thank you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, the bees need love. Questions about anything, I'm not an expert by any means, but I'll be out at my little table if anybody has questions, but I'd love to help answer. So thank you guys. But yeah, if you guys want to, like at your houses, These guys are very, very, come out like this. And the reason why I did the house is just to show you the size. Somebody finally stripped it out. So that's it. Take them out. Now that's just what the hard part. At your house. Oh, yeah. But since they're so